Warning: this video contains disturbing content, scary images, jump scares, graphic violent images, strong languages, inappropriate content, which are unsuitable for who are under 18 plus, and as well as flashing images. Viewers' discretion is well advised. Note and disclaimer: this video is also an entertainment and educational purpose only. All of the artwork/images and music/soundtracks belong to their respective owners. Thank you for understanding. More notes: do not go harass and or witch hunt this person and anyone mentioned in this video. Again, this video is also made for teaching and educational purposes as well. Please also note, this video is also a spoof, parody, and or satire for satirical purposes only. Plus, he is also opinion-based as well, regardless of any circumstances. Again, do not go your way to harass a person and everyone mentioned in this video. Again, thank you for listening.
And now the show begins.
Hello and welcome to the show. This is your host Convoy X51. And sigh. Here we go again. Okay, I'll explain this. For those who don't know about a certain sat-am degenerate known as Crazy Man Larry aka Legendary Classics is. Larry, aka Legendary Classics Crazy Man Larry, is the most notorious, absolute infamous and extremely toxic person in the Sonic fandom. He was known for harassing Sonic fans for liking the modern Sonic games, the modern characters, IDW Sonic series, Son Amy, and supporting Ian Flynn, while saying any negative things about Sally Acorn, the Knothole Freedom Fighters, Sonic Sat-am, the pre-Super Genesis Wave Archie Sonic comics, the American Sonic continuity, and even a hack writer known as Ken Penders, as Larry constantly defending Penders despite the fact that Penders and his lawsuits are the reason why the Archie Sonic comics was rebooted, and then, few years later, the comics were cancelled, for the better or worst. Back in the late 2025, I made a video where I made my final words against Larry after learning that he was banned from both Twitter, aka X, and DeviantArt. However, he still have a TikTok, and guess what? Yep. It looks like that, well, Larry is throwing massive tantrums after tantrums over nothing as usual. Another thing that I'd like to point out, that just because anyone has a different opinion on a fictional character, regardless if it's positive or negative, that does not give Larry a right to attack someone for having that said opinion. But more on that later. Another thing I want to address, that Larry said he is a fan of Sonic, and said he doesn't care for the franchise anymore. Now that is contradictory at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Or was it about that he never cared about the Sonic fanbase? Anyway, why should I care? Also, Larry refuses to celebrate Sonic's 35th anniversary. It's because he is still upset about Sonic Sat-am, and he is also still butthurt about the Knothole Freedom Fighters. But again, why should I care, anyway? Even that I'm a huge fan of the Sonic franchise, especially both modern Sonic and classic Sonic series, I still think Sonic Sat-am is a overrated garbage cartoon, and that the Knothole Freedom Fighters still sucks in my opinion. Although, then again, I never cared about Sally and the Knothole Freedom Fighters, anyway. It's just that I preferred the game casts such as Sonic, Amy, Tails, Knuckles, Metal Sonic, and Dr. Eggman. As well as other game characters like Blaze the Cat, Mighty Armadillo, Shadow the Hedgehog, and the list goes on. Even despite that, it's not gonna change the fact that I still respect the Sat-am fans, no matter what. Anyway, again, as a die-hard Sonic fan, I also preferred the Sega Sonic games, both modern and classic, the IDW Sonic comics, the Fleetway Sonic comics, the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon series, the Sonic X anime, the Sonic Prime cartoon series, and the live-action Sonic movies. I like other characters like Tangle the Lemur and Whisper the Wolf from the IDW Sonic comics, and Scratch and Grounder from the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog cartoon. Oh, I almost forgot, I never cared about the Archie Sonic comics as well. Also, just because I don't like Sat-am and I preferred other series like for example IDW Sonic, Sonic X and the Sega games, again, that does not give Larry a right to harass me. I'm allowed to have my opinion like everyone else. It doesn't matter that people like the games better than Sat-am or the other way round. Larry needs to understand that. After all, there are such things called preference. And to make matters worse, Larry had this annoying habit of accusing anyone in the Sonic community for gatekeeping, when it's ironic that he's the one who been gatekeeping all this time. Not to mention, if Larry is a fan of Sonic, then why he cares about the series' downfall. Even if Sega doesn't want anything to do with SAT-AM, it doesn't really matter. Larry really needs to grow up and move on. I don't know about you guys, but I think, regardless of whatever is for better or worse, Larry should have stayed with the Super Mario community and stop harassing other people in the Sonic fandom. I feared that there's a doubt that Larry would do that, as he refuses to let things go and move on. And you know what they say. Once a toxic person, always a toxic person. If Larry continues to be toxic online, only things we can do is to block and stay clear away from Larry on any platforms at all cost. Anyway, at least I got that off my chest, and, oh well, whatever the case, this is my actually last video on Larry. And what way to end this is to show you some memes. Enjoy. And, like I said before, this my last video on Larry, thus I'll take it easy and then I'll be focusing my Zeta Creepypasta readings. Episode 10 will be ready in due time. So yeah, I think that I'm done with Larry, for real this time, and it's for the best. Until, stay safe, take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.